If I told you there was a powerful way to calm your mind quickly and change how you feel, would you try it? Because when I needed something like that when I was younger, I did. And it helped me shift from being stressed by catastrophic thoughts to being calm, to being confident in seconds. Let's rewind more years than I care to remember. I was a young man in my early 20s and I was nervous. You see, I was about to give my first big presentation to a crowd of more than 300 people in one of those large university-style lecture theatres. I saw it as key to establishing myself in my IT career, and everybody who encouraged me to go for it believed in me. Nobody had trained me for this though. Nobody had taught me how to manage my nerves. I have to say that remembering it now, it seems silly and almost unrelatable because I've been a confident speaker now for many years. But this was then. I just couldn't get my head straight. I'd got it into my head that this was a make or break moment for my career, like it was some super high stakes gamble. Of course it wasn't really, but you couldn't tell my mind that. I had all these thoughts spinning around in my head about me freezing or stumbling over my words or getting my facts muddled up. In my head, all I could see were these stone-cold people, a silent crowd, uninterested, like I would be presenting to the Village of the Damned or something. And I just felt myself tightening up. My head was just a big bag of cats full of catastrophic stories. Now, of course, I tried talking myself out of it. I tried rationalizing. I looked at myself in the mirror and I said things to myself like, "You'll be great. You know what you're talking about. The audience is going to be interested." The problem is all this rationalizing didn't really fix anything. And that's simply because it doesn't. Rationalization calms down irrational fear almost never. What I know now that I didn't know then is that if you want to dissolve a nervousness created by suspicious thinking, you need to access something more primal than intellectual and rational counter-thinking. Fortunately, one of my friends knew neuro-linguistic programming, something that I myself have become an advanced master practitioner and trainer in since. Now, before I continue, I want to say one important thing. The goal of my coaching, as I do it today, is to not need interventions and techniques to change our state or feel good about ourselves, because we've mastered living and working from a habitually peaceful mind. Nevertheless, if you want a fast shift when you haven't learned to live that way, this works. Here's what he had me do. First, change my physical position. I'd been standing, pacing up and down and being a little bit crouched. So the change of physical position that I chose was to sit down, lift my head and pull my shoulders back. If I'd been sitting down while I was being nervous, I might have stood up. You see, a deliberate change of physical position and the way we hold ourselves can help us interrupt the pattern of thinking that we've gotten involved in. Second, close my eyes and take some deliberate deep breaths. Putting my attention on those breaths. Third, imagine that I was looking at a beautiful green meadow. Fourth, imagine that I could smell some calming incense. Then fifth, and this is the pièce de résistance, get some music going in my head. Some music that I find soothing, relaxing. Something whose melody I could get into, and to get it playing as vividly as I could. You see, there's something about accessing visual, auditory, kinesthetic, olfactory experiences which are before verbal language, which is powerful. By the way, visual means what you can see, auditory means what you can hear, kinesthetic is what you can feel, and olfactory is what you can smell. Now, there's something that makes this even more powerful, but I didn't know it then, not at that time. But I'll come back to that after I finish the story. You see, this wasn't the end of it. So yes, I felt calmer, and the more I got involved with the music, the calmer I got. No logic needed, no rationalization needed. This was a more primal experience. But getting calm was really only a stepping stone for me getting where I really wanted to be. I really wanted to get into my confident speaking state. So while I was in my calm state, I switched what I was looking at from the lovely meadow to a room full of highly engaged people who were really enjoying what they were hearing, showing interest and asking questions. And I switched my music from something that was getting me calm to something that got me going, something that got my energy going. Now, if you know anything about me in my private life, you'll know I have a real passion for music from the movies. I don't mean pop music that's needle dropped in a movie, but music specifically written by people who specialize in composing music for movies. Two tracks that really get me going are Bill Conti's theme music from Rocky, you know, the 1976 Sylvester Stallone movie about the boxer Rocky Balboa, and another is The Ecstasy of Gold by Ennio Morricone from The Good, the Bad and the Ugly. I picked Rocky that day, I got it going in my head, and boom, I was feeling confident, I was feeling energetic. Now, could I have gone from stressed to confident in one step? Maybe, maybe not. Sometimes it is better to change our state in two steps. Stressed to calm, and then calm to confident. And sometimes we want to stack states. Stressed to calm, calm to confident, confident plus motivated. And that means building up something of a personal internal jukebox. Your calm music, your confidence music, your motivational music. It's almost like creating a remote control where each button creates a successive shift. Now, I mentioned there was one thing I know now which I didn't know then, which makes this work even better. And that's not just to get the music playing in your head, but to do three specific things with it. First, imagine that the music is filling the whole room, not just your head. Second, turn up the loudness, turn up the clarity, and turn up the spaciousness of the music. And third, feel it in your whole body, from the top of your head to the ends of your fingers to the tips of your toes. The more you feel the music filling the room and feel it in your whole body, the more powerful it gets. You might even start moving your body. Well, you know, dance and rhythm are great state changers. Now, mastering an ability to change state is one thing. Mastering not needing to is something else. Mastering the practical circumstances of our lives is something else yet again. Now, to learn how to do that, watch this video here. This is Steve wishing you health and happiness.